This video is going to be the first video in what's probably going to be a long-running series about my new 1988 Ford Bronco four-wheel drive. So we're going to try to turn this into a bug-out vehicle. I'm going to bring you along for the ride. Coming up on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So this beautiful thing in the background here is my brand new 1988 Bronco, full-size Bronco, as you can see. And it's going to be the start of a brand new video series. We're going to call this one the Bronco Project. Probably going to be a very long-running series. We'll just see how long it takes and how well it goes. But what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of, a piece at a time, we're going to work on this thing and get it as roadworthy and trail-worthy as possible, and take you along with me. Let me start by saying right off the bat, I am not an off-road expert, a four-wheel drive expert, or an automotive expert. Like I said, this is the first four-wheel drive I've ever owned. So we're going to be learning this together, and I welcome your comments and advice and help if you've got some experience with this kind of thing in the comments below on this video and all the others. But the first time, what I thought we'd do is I'll just give you a walk around the vehicle. I'll show you what I know is maybe got to be done to it, and some things it needs, and a couple things I've already done. Hopefully you can give me some suggestions below. So let's get started. And by the way, I don't like to do this very often because it's kind of shaky, but I'm going to take you off the tripod for a minute, and we'll walk around, do a kind of a walk around, and then wrap this thing up. Okay, well there she is in all her glory. Again, this is 1988 Bronco. We'll just start at the front and work our way back. First of all, you can see this has a somebody made a homemade push guard, whatever you want to call it, for this thing to go in front of the bumper, and just welded steel tubing. Nothing fancy about it, but it seems to work pretty good for a brush guard. Let's see, let's walk on around. You can see this got some dents and dings. This is not at all pristine. A little bit of surface rust on the hood maybe. Okay, so this one has the manual locking hubs, which I think is pretty cool. Decent tires on it, not great, but they're pretty good tread on these things. And they're, pretty decent mud type tires. No running boards at this point in time. Kind of sets up kind of good. It's got a light bar on top. I can tell you these two driver's side lights are out. We got to take a look at that. If you're going around, you can see it's got a new seal. I bought this from my nephew, and he put a new seal on it. So it's kind of, he told me he made a couple little rough edges on it, but it seals out good. It doesn't leak in the rain. I've been through several rainstorms with it. You can see the back bumper's kind of bent up. I don't really know if that's bent or if it needs bracket needs adjusting. We're going to check that out. Spare tires, not really too great. It's got a little bumper ball on it, and as you move around, a little bit of damage back here. You probably noticed by the way that there's no lock in the back door, no key. It's moving around. Couple little dents here in the back, nothing too bad. So to show you the couple things that I have already done with it. Okay, first of all, the exhaust pipe, you can see it comes out here. Well, it used to stop, if you can see that. Hopefully you see where the new exhaust pipe is. Well, that's where it stopped, which is, as you can see, in front of the rear tires. So when you're sitting idling, especially in lights, it absolutely, it smelled like you're sucking on a tailpipe, so that's not good. The last thing I'll say about the exterior is a couple things on the passenger side. First of all, this mirror, it just doesn't stay adjusted. It flops around and it just doesn't do what it needs to do. I got to work on that. And the antenna is gone. That's pretty much it for the exterior. Let's take a quick look at the interior and we'll wrap this thing up. Well, as you can see, this is the Eddie Bauer edition. So back in 1988, this was the Mac Daddy Bronco. Okay, so here's the interior. As you can see, we have power windows and door locks. We've got seats are in decent shape. They're not torn all to pieces. They have some holes and burns in them, but not too bad. Got a console there. Headliner has been torn out. It's just got the fiberglass top on it. This one also has a tilt wheel. Okay, a couple things. First of all, let's crank her up and show you how well she runs. It actually does run really well. Now, this is kind of different. There's a problem apparently in the ignition column because you got to turn the key on and then you got to push the button here. Let's crank it up. So we give it a little gas and it actually runs really well. You can also see the horn does not work. None of these controls really work on the on the steering wheel, which is, by the way, got this really nice real tree cover on it that I got to do something with. Other couple of issues with it are these controls here are not functioning. So something's up with the cables back in the dash. I did find out the cables are obsolete parts. Can't find them anywhere. So I can actually reach the actuators. The actuator for the temperature is under the dash here, and the actuator for the control selector, one of the two, is behind the glove box. And I can take those out and manually put them where I want them, but I can't move them around yet. So I got to figure that one out. You can see it's manual 4-wheel drive shift, none electronic stuff. And then somebody's put a nice grab bar over there. That's a nice custom touch. And then if you look in the back, it's got the back seat here, and there's and then the back window there. Let's go ahead and open that up and take a look at that. Got the rear window selector here. We'll roll that down. Okay, so we'll come around back here now and open this tailgate up for you real quick. Since there's no key here, you have to open it from the front, roll it down, and it opens up. You see, it's got some rhino liner here that it's been sprayed in, a couple of pockets there, and then the back of that seat's a little torn. Really, it's pretty decent shape, to be honest with you. So let's that back up, and we'll roll her back up and let you take a look at the engine, and we'll wrap it up this time. Okay, so let's take a look at the engine and we'll wrap this thing up. What you're looking at here is a 1988 Ford 351 cubic inch V8. This ain't no baby toy. And it's dirty, but I'm going to clean it up and we'll figure out what all needs to be done. It actually runs pretty well. I can tell you that the power steering pump has a leak somewhere in the power steering system, so I'll keep some of this in here. And other than that, it runs pretty good. Hopefully there won't be any major repairs needed here on the engine side. Okay, that's a quick walk around. The first video here in the Bronco project. A couple of things I know need to be fixed on it. By the way, the second thing I've already fixed is did not have a door key. This is a 2-key system, so I had to take it to a locksmith, and man, this guy's an artist. He put like a key blank in there, pulled it out, wiggled it around, started filing. 20 minutes later, I had some keys. I was really impressed. It's pretty neat to watch somebody do something like that. Real quick story about if you're used to driving a new vehicle and you wind up in an old vehicle, one thing you need to be aware of is that many new vehicles have automatic headlights. They come on and they turn off automatically. Guess what? 1988 vehicles don't have that feature. And if you leave your headlights on, like while you're, say, maybe in Walmart, come back out, high likelihood you might hear a click, 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 click when you turn the key. So I'm just saying you might want to think about that one. But anyway, I invite you to come along with me on this journey. Again, I know nothing about 4-wheel drives. I've got some ideas. I need to get a jack for it because it didn't even have a jack. The only other thing I really know that I've got to address immediately, pretty quickly anyway, the power steering is leaking. Not too bad, but I got to get that fixed. And the driver's side front wheel, when you're driving along, it sounds like there's a playing card in a bicycle spoke sound. It's the best way I can think of to describe it. Just a click, 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 click. And it kind of stops when you turn a little bit. So I got to check that out. If you got any ideas on that, I'd be happy to hear them. Anybody got any ideas where I can get heater cables for this thing, heater control cables? I've checked on all these different sites online, you know, JC Whitney, LCM or LCR, whatever truck parts. Just I Google them up, everything I could think of. Obsolete, nobody's got them. So I got to figure that one out. But other than that, those are the major things. There's a lot of little minor doodads and tweaks and stuff. So what we'll be carrying along. My goal is, again, in this series, to take this thing, to make this thing just as absolutely trail-worthy and road-worthy as I can on a budget, because budgets are important. So we'll see how well that works out, and I appreciate your help. As always, thanks for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up like that, for sharing this video with millions and millions of friends, for watching all those ads, and thank you so much for shopping on Amazon through the Survival on Purpose links. I really appreciate the support, and the Bronco project could use it. So once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time. It's a beast.